Hello. Welcome to the Breastfeeding Library. So I got a little free time. I'm in the parking lot. I dropped the kids off to school. The hubby's in dialysis. If you are not following my husband on his movement, dancing for a kidney, I suggest you do that. If you go to IG and type in dancing for a kidney, he will pop up. The IG Real Estate Pro, dancing for a kidney. He have a lot of things going on with his movement. He just educating families about kidney failure, and just empowering the world and educating at least live donors. Like, we need a lot of live donors for kidney failure because it's bad. So y'all go over there and follow him, and he gonna shed light on you because he's a positive person. So go over there and follow him. So in this video, I wanted to talk about why I birthed at a birthing center. So before I had found out I was pregnant with Keyshawn, you guys all know that I was a lactation specialist. So I used to talk to a lot of moms about breastfeeding and births. That's all I did was talk to moms. So before I got pregnant, I would hear all these different stories, like how this happened, how that happened, and they didn't want this to happen and that to happen. See, I didn't experience that with my first two kids, but I did experience a lot of things, and I'm happy that I used to watch a lot of TV. I used to watch a lot of birthing stories, because with my first son, I remember watching the birth stories all the time. And when I went in to have him, my water broke. I waited like the whole process of hospital birthing, which is not the same as a natural or a home birth. But you go in, you get the epidural, and you just wait. I remember my doctor coming in and he's saying, "Oh, we done everything. If the baby doesn't come in 40 minutes to an hour, then I'm going to go ahead and do a C-section." And I remember telling him, like, "No, you're not going to do a C-section on me. I'm healthy. The baby's healthy. We're not in distress. Nothing is going on. And this is my first pregnancy. So this can take up to 72 hours. I remember seeing that on the birth story, and actually reading it somewhere. And he looked at me like this and left out the room. So then I started, replaying everything that I learned while I was pregnant, like, turning right to left. I couldn't get out of the bed because I had all this stuff in me. So once you get the epidural and everything, they don't let you be active. So I couldn't get out of the bed. I couldn't do nothing. So I kept turning right and left. By the time like an hour came by, that same doctor didn't come back. It was another doctor, but I had already dilated to 10. It was time for me to push. So good thing I didn't, get a C-section. But I'm like, if I didn't educate myself during pregnancy, I probably would have had a C-section with my first baby, and most likely with all my other kids, because usually, like here where I stay at, you have to go to this one hospital to have a VBAC. Everywhere else, if you have a C-section, they don't care how many years. If it's been 10, 12, 13, 1, 2, 3 years, they're going to continue to give you a C-section. So thank God I looked at those birth stories to help me. But I end up having him natural. Not natural, with medicated, but I end up pushing him out. So let's fast forward back to why this time I was like, I'm not finna go to a hospital. I'm just gonna have my baby at home. First, I was like, I'm gonna have my baby at home, because I had one client that came in and he actually told me how him and his wife had their babies at home. Like, he Googled everything. He had all the equipment, everything. Like, and they delivered their baby at home. Baby was healthy, mom's healthy. And I was thinking, after I talked to him and her, I went home and I talked to my husband. I'm like, we're going to have our baby at home, because I don't want to go to the hospital, because the hospital, I feel like pregnancy shouldn't be a medical issue. Like, we are born to have babies. Like, we're born to, God put us here to multiply. Like, our bodies would naturally do that. I think a lot of medications interfere with that. And like I said, I experienced it, because at the time when I got the epidural, I do feel like the epidural did slow down my process. And that's the reason why they wanted to rush me into a C-section, because my fluids, the fluids was leaving, and it was a lot going on that caused the doctor to be alarmed. Even though I was healthy, baby was still healthy, it still caused an alarm because I was just waiting too long, because my water had already broke. So go fast forward to where I'm at now. Now I'm a breastfeeding peer counselor. I hear this man come in. They had a natural birth. Everything went fine. Then when I found out I was pregnant with Keyshawn, I was like, okay. I told my husband we having a natural birth. At this time, I didn't know about birthing centers, especially around where I stay. I didn't know anything about a birthing center. I didn't know anything about midwives, doulas, anything. So I was like, okay. So my husband like, no, we're not finna birth the baby at home. So then I started Googling. At this time, I started Googling birthing centers near me, midwives, doulas. And then I had this one young lady who was a peer counselor as well, and I was actually training her. And she educated me on birthing centers and how she birthed her last few kids in the birthing center. And she told me some nearby birthing centers where I can go to and do consultations and everything. So once I did those consultations, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna birth at a birthing center, because birthing centers, once I did the consultation, they introduce themselves. You're gonna see that same midwife. It's not like several 8-9 different doctors, so you get to build a relationship with your midwife or your doula, so you feel comfortable with opening up with that person. With my other kids, I didn't feel comfortable with my OB, because it was like somebody different every time, so I never really felt a connection with opening up to them, because it was a different man, a different person every time I came in. So once I found out about the birthing centers, I did a consultation. I sat in with the midwives and doulas. They explained everything to me. They listened. It wasn't about what they wanted, it's what I wanted, what me and my husband wanted. And then once I went in for the consultation, at first I was a little bit nervous. But every time I went in, I just got more relaxed and relaxed. We took birthing classes together, me and my hubby. They had birthing classes every Tuesday night. So then they actually train you to deliver. Because a lot of times we think that we need, all of these things to deliver. Our bodies naturally do it. So each Tuesday they have birthing classes where they tell you about the birthing process, tell you about, if y'all know me, let me go back. I'm sibling. I'm the 8th or 9th. My mom had 10 kids, right? So I'm thinking, oh, birth easy, it's just blah, 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 blah. You just have them because it's kids running around everywhere. But when you start having your own kids, it's different. So once I started going to these birthing classes, they actually explain to you the birthing process. Even though I know, all women have babies, they actually sat down and explained to you the first trimester, the second trimester, hormonal things, how the cervix open. Get in there, you be at ease. You don't have all this stuff hooked up. It's your family, everybody that you want in there. Because I had my whole family, everybody watching me birth. And it's just you just so at peace and just enjoying everything. You're not doped up and on drugs. You remember everything. And it's just so precious. Everything about a natural birth is precious. You're going to feel it. I'm not telling you you're going to feel it, but they teach you how to breathe through everything. Breathe through it. And how to, cope with your contractions. So that's the reason why a little insight of why I went the birthing route of a birthing center. I just wanted to go into depth on this video because I had a video that I found in my phone that I wanted to drop on here when I decided that the day I found out about me doing a natural birth, and I vlogged it. So I'm gonna drop that video after this video. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if you're a pregnant mom and if you're undecided if you want to birth in a hospital or a birthing center. Drop the comments below why you feel like the hospital is better, why you feel like a birthing center is better, and let me know how you feel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell someone about this channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.